Hey everyone, I'm Boris, Product Manager at Miro Developer Platform, and I welcome you at Miro booth at Microsoft Build. Today I will tell you how to boost your team's rituals using Miro Collaborative Whiteboard. You can also check out demos that my colleague Anthony has prepared on how to build on our developer platform and use our API to build your own custom tools, apps, and integrations. Before we dive in, let me tell you what Miro actually is. Miro is an online collaborative whiteboard platform where distributed teams work together as if they were in the same room, regardless of location. We are a team of 700 teammates scattered over US and different parts of Europe, and 95% of Fortune 100 build their next big things in Miro. If you all wondered, what does it look like when almost 100 people collaborate on the same board? This is what it looks like. This is an actual brainstorming session when a year ago, pandemic has just started, and almost 100 teammates at Miro from different parts of Europe and US are sharing their ideas on how to be productive in new work from home environment. They're given new ideas, they're given thumbs up and pluses, and develop each other's ideas in real time, sitting at their homes. You can achieve the same result and the same picture as well. So what can you use Miro for? There are multiple use cases, and we're going today focus on just a few of them. But overall, you can do ideation and brainstorming, as we have just seen. You can finalize and converge research and design. You can prepare strategy presentation and run PI planning sessions. You can use Miro for all kinds of agile workflows like stand-ups, Kanbans, retrospectives, and other types of agile meetings. You can do very complex mapping and diagramming, and also use Miro for workshops and meetings for huge groups of people. So how can you make use of Miro with your development team? First of all, you can run distributed team rituals in Miro, and we will dive into that right in several seconds. What you can also do is to build custom tools and integrations to provide even more value for you as a team from Miro, and that's what we'll focus after we go through different rituals that you can run in Miro as a team. So now let's talk about how teams can use Miro boards to run their distributed rituals. We'll first talk about the most basic and standard ones like project planning, retrospective, daily sync, and then I'll share my own first favorite template, which I use with my team for more than a year, and it really helps me to do all of those things combined on a regular basis. So let's dive in. First, we'll go through a pretty basic project planning template. This specific template suggests that we break down several projects or features into several buckets, like the ones where there are just changes and updates, the one where there are blockers or challenges, and the ones where some actual risks or red flags. And then we add cards with projects. Now let's take a look at what project card actually is. This is a container which we can open, and there's the name of the project or feature or whatever you want to describe in this card. Then you can add a full text about what exactly you're doing at different lengths and whatever you think there should be. And then you can add numerous different tags to help someone who looks at the template better understand the context around thing you're describing. What you can also add are due date and assignee from your Miro team. For example, I can add actually myself here. Boris. Yeah, so this is a card, and you can easily create a card by going to this three dots, and for example, the card, and here we are. And then I can add those tags and due date and add some description. Let's call it project 9. And we'll put it here below all the other projects. Now, what else have we got here? You can add some housekeeping items, like how regular does your sync schedule? Where do you do it? Add links to video conferencing services, add timeouts, add the team roles. For example, we can add a shape and let's make it like this and say that this is team roles. And we can add more content here later. What other kind of template we have? For example, this one for daily stand-ups. If team doesn't want to do a stand-up live and you want to do it asynchronously, you can use this kind of template where each team member simply puts sticky notes like this. You can just go here, say sticky note. Click on this and add a blocker. For example, there is no UI design. How are we gonna deliver anything if we don't have the design? And then your teammates who visiting the board later will be seeing that and will be able to react. If you want to drag anyone's attention, you can simply say comment, and you can actually even tag your colleague to take a look at your specific request or issue. Now, you can also add this kind of how-to things. Now, I think this one actually does lack a header. So let's add a header. For that, we're going to stretch this frame a little bit down and move the text down as well. We're going to hit T on the keyboard and simply click on the canvas, and this creates text widget. And then let's go how to use this template. Now you do not see anything because the text is black, so I need to change the text to white and probably make it a little bit bigger. Now our colleagues will be able to understand what this piece of information is and how is it valuable for them. Let's take one more look at this. So what happens if we have one more teammate joining us? Well, this thing called grid can simply create one more column and add one more teammate. Let's say Daniela is joining us in this project. That's great. And now she's also part of this team, and she has her place to share her thoughts, blockers, or what she had been working on the previous day. That's awesome. Let's take a look at one more classic template before we move forward to my all-time favorite. So this is a retrospective which you can also run asynchronically. There is general info on how actually to do that. So if you had never run retrospectives, you can simply read that, okay? It is good for 4 to 8 people, and it's just 15 time to prepare. It's quite easy and requires 30 minutes. Who should be involved and how you do it from stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you have never done any other retrospective, you can use simply this one, and it helps you to get started. This is one from Atlassian Team Place, and if you go to templates over here, you'll be able to find many more Atlassian team plays for different cases like team mind mapping, work-life impact, and other templates. So if we would want to contribute to this, we can do it as simply as start another timer. Let's do this. Start the timer, let's say for 1 minute, where you can pick up music. I won't do it in this demo, and simply hit run. And while it runs, I can click on N button on my keyboard, and you see I can create a new sticky note, and as I click, a new sticky note is created. And for example, I want to say what needs to be improved, like let's not create bugs. Is it hard? Oh, let's not create bugs. Why would anyone create bugs, right? And if you think everyone's done early, you can simply stop the timer. Now, when we've seen how easy it might be to actually create and use this kind of standard templates and where you can find those, let's actually take a look at, let's dive into my favorite template. Now let me tell you about my favorite template that I use with my team for more than a year since we've gone remote, and I'm sure you will like it. This template is based on weekly cadences. For which week you have number of the week or the date where the week starts, that's up to you. You have a week goal, and then retrospectively you highlight it with green or yellow or red or black whether you were able to achieve that goal or not. This goal can relate to getting specific things done, like getting releases on production or delivering value to customers. And you also break them down into layers of how then you evaluate if you did everything you could or not, from 0.7 to 1 to 1.1 or 1.5, depending on how overreaching, how stretching the goal is. Now the goal and the tasks are different. Here you put the tasks, these can be same kind of cards we used in one of the previous templates, or this can be Azure DevOps card as well, which is synchronized two ways with your Azure DevOps instance. And you put this task, you can prioritize them by time by putting them horizontally, or you can prioritize them by priority, but then the team working on the task decides how they, in what day, in what time they work on which task, and you can use lines to show the dependencies, and then you can see, oh, can we start working on this task? No, because this task from previous week is not done yet. So it creates a lot of clarity for the team in terms of how dependencies from one week go to the other week. Also, tasks can take some time, and it's okay. You can spread them out to like 2 sprints or less, or even 3 sprints, whatever makes sense to you. It is also very easy in different ways to indicate where you are in this process. In this project work already for 4 weeks, and things were not always that good, right? There were green and yellow and black and red things. So we need to learn a lot from this. How do we learn? We learn through retrospectives. And this template, you run retrospectives at the same place where you actually run the sprint. You can add any template here in the cell, and then set up a timer and put sticky notes with your name on it. And then discuss it with your team. What was good? What were the actions that you needed to take? The other week, you may decide to use another template, another format for the retrospective to keep the brain sharp. Then if you would like to reuse that, you simply select copy and paste it, and there you go. You can run retrospective for you next week on a similar template you already done before. No problem with that. What else I like about this structure, this is called grid widget, and there you can easily add more columns if you walk over the time that you allocated for a project. And you also can allocate one column for the backlog, where you put all the tasks that were not yet planned. They need to be planned. You keep this backlog prioritized, and then as we reach week 5, you simply drag it to another place. You drag this here, and you're good to go with a new week, new sprint, and new retrospective. Now, it's easy to get lost in all these kinds of templates. So sometimes you want to take a step back and say, well, I understand there are a lot of different things, but how do I learn more about them? And there is a place where you can actually go and see a lot of different templates for agile workflows and distributed team rituals. It is called Miroverse. You simply type Miro at miroverse.com. There you can select agile workflows and see how different teams, different Miro customers and partners put their different ways of working in Miro online. For agile workflows, for diagramming, team building, and a lot of other activities. Now, let's talk about how you can make work with Miro even easier and more custom through different apps and integrations that you can find in our marketplace or build yourself. Miro is integrated with more than 80 different tools and services, including OneDrive, Microsoft Documents, Office 365, Microsoft Teams, Azure DevOps, and many, many others. You can use all of those to customize how your team works with Miro and with other tools as well. Let's talk about Microsoft integrations that we have in Miro Marketplace. First of all, the Microsoft Teams. You can get notifications into Microsoft Teams on everything that happens with your Miro boards. New comments, new board invitations, or new members joining. You can get all of those notifications into your Microsoft Teams bot and never miss a bit when you're on the go or not checking your Miro dashboard regularly. You still know if something extremely important is going on. Another great way to add Miro into your Microsoft Teams toolset is to embed live, editable, collaborative Miro boards into your Microsoft Teams channel. So we can take the daily sprint board that you use and embed it into Microsoft Teams team channel, and you won't have to go search for the link, open it every day. It will be there for you, and you can use it every day, as well as all members of your team. You can work with OneDrive files by adding them on the canvas using your either personal or OneDrive business authentication, and then make collaborative notes and drawings on the board which will be related to those files. You can also work with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files on the board by adding them to the canvas and extracting pages so that all the document is scattered over the Miro board, and you can then make comments and tag people or highlight things or add stickies with new ideas about the presentation or the document. And all those notes will be collaborative in Miro, and this way you can connect everything you do in your Office documents and the collaborative way that you work in Miro and connect it to your projects. Now, this is not even close to being all of it, because we provide a lot of APIs and software development kits so that you could build your own Miro tools. For example, you can build your own planning poker tool, your own sticker pack, or clusterizer machine, or synchronize data between your custom task tracker and Miro board, like we do with Azure DevOps and Asana, or probably you use your own video conferencing tool or the one that hasn't integrated Miro yet. Probably you can even do that integration yourself if you feel the need. So you can build on top of everything that Miro provides through Miro API and build your own custom tools, integrations, and applications for yourself or for the whole Miro marketplace. Let's see what you can come up with, and have a good day.